Hello, good evening, everyone. Very good evening, and welcome to the live. Let's just wait for someone to join in, and then we will start. Yes. Okay, we have someone who's joined in. Thank you, Ritu, for joining in. Let's just wait for a few more people to join and then we will start the live. Yes, Facebook, thank you. So I'm going live on, hi Ritu. So I'm going live on Insta and Facebook. So just waiting for a few more people to join in and then we will start the live. So today's live, hi Sarika, thank you for joining in, stopping by, joining in. So today's live, as you all know, is on the topic helping your children prepare for exams. So this is the time when the exams are there and a lot of stress, lot of anxiety, a lot of, late night studies, burning the late night oil, everything is happening. So just my little help to everyone who are going through this, the parents and as well as the students who are going through this exam tension, exam anxiety. So just my bit to help them. Yeah. Hi Neetu, thank you for joining in. So as people are joining, I think Facebook also people have joined, Insta also people have joined. So let us start with the live. So as I was saying, that today's live is on helping your children prepare for exams in a better manner. So, in today's live, I will be covering some tips. So I will be giving you 10 tips on how you can help your children prepare better for exams. Second, I will be telling you what not to do. 10 tips on what to do for the exams and a few tips for what not to do. Sometimes we tend to do things which actually in the long run they harm us. So what not to do for the exams. Then I will be sharing a few small tips on how to manage your stress and anxiety, how to manage your, all the tension, all the anxiety that you're having before the exams, how to manage that. I will be sharing a few tips on how to help you memorize better. So, you can memorize things better with an example. And if time permits, then I will be sharing 3 small things which can harm the memory of your brain. So how you're memorizing something which can harm your memorizing power. So I will share that also with you. So many things to cover. So let us just start. So first, the tip is, now I understand that the exams are very nearby and probably because of some reason or the other, we are in a very difficult time. You might have wasted precious time has gone from your hand and you were not able to study much. So now you have a few days before the exams to how to use this time for better preparation so that you can secure good marks. And so the mantra here will be study smart and not study hard. So we will study smartly so that we cover everything and then we make maximum use of this time so that we can secure good marks. So number 1 in this will be to plan your study time. So how to plan your study time? So I understand that the exams are very nearby. So probably, for example, you have only 20 days before your exams which are there and you have around 5 subjects to prepare. So you can divide that 20 by 5. So you have around roughly 4 days for each subject. And in each subject, like, in science, probably you're having 15 chapters which are coming. So you can divide that 15 by 4. So, roughly around 4 chapters, 3.5 or 4 chapters per day you need to cover for your exams. So we will do it that way. So per day we have to study only this much. So what happens once you break down this thing, that how we are going to study, your mind is like, kind of at rest. Okay, I don't have to study so much in one day. I can break it down into small parts and this is doable, right? 4 chapters in a day, studying it very well, thoroughly is doable thing. So we have to do that. And whatever timetable you make, stick to that. That is very, very, very important. Whatever timetable you've made, just stick to that timetable so that you know that this is and you keep on ticking that I have done this, let me tick it off, let me strike it off. So stick to the timetable that you are making during this time. The second point would be that, take all your study material together. Whatever study material you have, gather your books, gather your notes, gather the past papers of the past years, and have everything handy together so that you have everything that you are going to study at one place. The other one will be to make notes. So I've written down so that I don't forget things. So next is how to study now. You have everything together. Now how to study everything together. So make notes. So I wish I could show you my books when I used to study. I mean, everything was color marked. So you have a lot of color markers these days. Make use of that and mark everything in your book which is important. So that at the last day, one day before the exam, when you have to study, you don't have to go through the whole thing. Just see the highlighted points, what notes you've made. Just check out those notes and you are good to go. So make it that way. And one more good thing is make mind maps. So in our time, I did not know the concept of mind maps, but we used to make it in a way of flow charts. So it is kind of a similar thing. So make mind maps, and just one glance at the mind map, and whatever is the most important thing in the chapter, and you can do that. So that is like, quick revision one day before the exam, which will help you. Next is the third point which I would like to share here is the Pomodoro Technique. So Pomodoro Technique tells you that, all of us, it is not possible for us to study continuously for a longer period of time, especially for the children. So Pomodoro Technique says that study for 25 minutes and then take a break of 5 minutes. So when you study for 25 minutes and take a break, in that break time, your brain assimilates whatever you studied in the past 25 minutes. It assimilates it and it helps in your brain to absorb it better. And that 25 minutes have to be completely distraction free. So, keep out your phones or your laptop, everything. In case you're studying on the laptop, disable all the notifications and all the apps which will distract you. So keep that in mind. So this is the way. Pomodoro Technique is a very important thing. Study for 25 minutes, take a break of 5 minutes. Do it for 2 hours and then you can take a longer break of probably 20 minutes or something like that. So this is the most effective way to study according to, it is a scientific method how to study. The next is we can make use of the 80-20 rule. So most of the corporates, most of the people, they use that 80-20 rule in everything, and we can apply that in studies also. So 80-20 rule says that 80% of our productivity comes from 20% of our time. So if you study for around 20 minutes and then 20% of your time, the 80% of your time you devote to revising it or revisiting whatever you have studied. So that way, whenever you are memorizing it, so you are memorizing it, you are revising it, you are taking it up again and again. So 20 minutes of reading and 20% of the time for reading and 80% of the time for revising and revisiting whatever you have studied. So if you do it that way, your brain is going to assimilate anything that you're reading in a much, much better manner. So next is, change the topics. So we might not be able to. Thank you everyone for who's joining in. Thank you so much. I can see. Thank you, sir, for joining in. So yes. And so I was coming up to the, hi Mona, thank you for joining in. At Facebook also I can see so many people. Thank you. And right, so I was next on, I did the 80-20 rule and I was on changing the topics. So yes, continuously reading one thing for a very long time can become very boring for the children. So it's a good idea to change the topics that you're reading. So probably for around for 20 minutes, 25, the Pomodoro Technique, 25 minutes if you were doing for gravitation. So 1 hour you've done for gravitation, for example, you're doing physics or science, then you can do the next 1 hour for studying chemistry or the biology. So you can study that way in the same subject, but keep on repeating the topics that you're taking so that your brain is not tired of reading one thing at a time. And there is another benefit to that, that whenever for example in that 1 hour of time you were not able to do your gravitational completely. So our brain has that capacity, it is a quality of our brain that it will go on thinking about something which was left unfinished. So in that time when you are reading something else, but your brain is assimilating the thing which was not covered completely by you, which something which was left incomplete, your brain has a tendency to go back to that. So it will keep on thinking about the gravitation, and it will help you, whatever you've studied, it will be better memorized in your brain in that way. So that is what the changing of the topics, and we also call this the spaced repetition method. We take a chunk of one subtopic, and then after some time we take a chunk of another topic. So this is the spaced repetition, right? The sixth point is teach what you learn. This is what I wanted to tell you. The sixth point, you've learned something and now you teach it to somebody else. So when you're learning it, it is from a different perspective that you're learning. But once you start teaching, you will know so many things which you probably missed when you were doing it. So for example, you can, whatever you've learned, whatever you memorized, you can go and tell it to your parents, you can go and tell it to your sibling, or if you don't have anybody, just sit with your soft toy and just tell it to your teddy bear, everything, that whatever you've learned. Or these days we have phones, so you can record it on your phone, and when you're recording you can hear it later also. So record it on your phone and see whatever. So whenever you're teaching someone, you will know the gaps, that I did not understand this, what I'm telling, I have not understood this correctly. So let me go back to my textbook and understand it, what actually this thing is. So this is how the teaching helps. Whatever you've learned, you teach it to others. The seventh point which I want to share is of finding your spot to study. So all of us, we cannot sit at the table and a chair and study. So some children are like, probably they are, roaming around and they are memorizing things. Somebody likes to sit alone in a room. Some children cannot sit alone in a room and talk, study. They need someone around them. So find your spot, whatever you are comfortable with, whatever helps you in studying, find your spot to study. And that has to be your spot where your maximum capacity of your brain is being utilized. The eighth point would be find your timing of study. So this is all how our personal energy management is. Like, every person is not active at the same time. Some children are very active around 8 o'clock in the morning, some are active around 10 o'clock in the morning, and some children are active around probably 4:30 or 5 in the evening. So everybody has a different time when their energy level is the highest and they can absorb more things. So find your time. For the children, find that time. Which time is it that you can study the maximum at? Which is where you are more receptive, more productive. So that is the time which you should use to do the most difficult part. So if in case you feel maths is very difficult, so use that time to study maths. In case you feel that probably physics is very difficult, so use that time to study physics during that time, some concept of physics. So use that time. Find your time for the parents can help find this better for the children, because when your child is more active, more productive, and more doing a lot of things. So help your children in finding that time and make them study or do something which is very difficult at that time. So that is like time. Find your own energy level. Next would be to the food for thought. Food for thought, I want to tell you, there are certain foods which help you during this time, which help you help your brain for better development, for the neurons to form well. So help your brain with good food also. And the food for our brain is basically omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acid is found in fish, cod liver oil, flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, soya bean. So these are the things where you can find omega-3 fatty acids. And the second food category is flavonoids. Flavonoids is like present in all the food which are like brightly colored, the red, orange, green, purple, all these colored food, flavonoids are present there. You can use that for like berries, broccolis, dark chocolate. So they all have flavonoids. So you can consume flavonoid. They will help you in your brain. They will help your brain in a better manner. So this is brain. And the next food, which is the superfood of the brain, is sleep. Yes, you heard me very right. Sleep is a superfood for our brain. So all the children who think that, I will not waste my time sleeping, but I will study in that time, you should rethink it, because sleep is very, very important for your brain. So what happens when we are studying something whenever you're studying something, there are certain neural pathways which are formed in our brain. And when we are sleeping, these neural pathways are strengthened. There is something known as myelin sheath which is formed on them. The neural pathways, the connection between the neurons strengthen when you are sleeping. Your brain basically rejuvenates itself, and sleep is a superfood for your brain. So sleeping is very, very important. So please make sure that you have at least 8 hours of sleep. All those who are going to appear for exams, please have 8 hours of sleep. And one day before the exam, sleep is very important. Do not think that I will waste my time if I sleep, but sleep is the most important thing you can do for your to help your brain memorize things better. So these are the 10 points and yes, one more point is there are certain points which we press which help us in memorizing things better. So there are certain mudras which we can do which can help us memorize things better. I made a YouTube video, probably last year I made a YouTube video on the mudras which can help you in memorizing things better, for help you in your exams, and I put the link in my bio. You can check out that video if you want to know more. Okay, my live video was paused. I don't know why. Okay, right. So this is what I want to talk, 10 tips which are for, to smart studying a few days before the exams. Now I'll tell you something which not to do, something which you should not do for before the exams. So number one is, please do not panic. All the children out there, please do not panic. Do not have that stress and anxiety that I have not studied, kya hoga, what will the exam come, how is it going to happen. Please do not panic. So all the parents also there, it is I think the parents who can tell their children better. Do not start blaming the children at this time that I told you to study, you should have studied earlier, you wasted all your time, you were wasting time in TV, you were wasting time on your phone. Please do not say all that to your child, because the child is already stressed, already in a lot of anxiety. So please do not aggravate the anxiety and stress of the child by saying all that. So do not in fact tell the child, okay, I know we have wasted the time, let's see how we can utilize this time now. Okay, only 20 days are left, 15 days are left, 10 days are left for your exams. Let's see how we can utilize this time to gain better, how we can make maximum use of this time now. So this is the time that so I have someone a request to join me for the live video. I will not be taking that request. In case you have any question, you can write down in the comments and I will be answering it after the live. Or as and when I get a chance, I will be answering those questions, but I will not be able to take anybody for the live, right? So yes, so I was saying yes, the children will be panicking. So it is the duty of the parents not to aggravate the anxiety of the child, but to calm them down and tell them that how they can help them better in making the maximum utilization of this time. The second point which not to do is, many children have a negative self-talk. They are like, I am very bad at maths, I am not going to get good marks, I might fail, I am very bad at this. So this is all the negative talks which is going on inside the children. So please parents, whenever you notice that, please correct your child. Tell them that, instead of the negative, shift their thinking to a positive one. They should not go so much about the negative, cribbing that I have not done this, I am going to fail, I am not going to get good marks. But instead you shift that dialogue which they are having inside their mind to a positive one. So for example, you can use, things like, I am calm, I am relaxed, I will get very good marks, I can do it, something like that. And it's not a bad idea if you write all this, some positive things, and stick it around where the children can see. So in case they have a constant negative self-talk, they can see that written on their wall, that I can do it, I will get good marks. They can see that, and they can be, yes, they can change their script. So basically the idea here is to program them for victory and not for failure. So what these things do, they, somewhere they change your subconscious mind, go and change in your subconscious mind and tell you that, winning is possible, I can get good marks. So they program your mind for victory. So this is the second thing which I wanted to tell you. The third thing is for the children, for the parents who are watching this, please tell the children that do not get panicked when they see the paper, and read the instructions very carefully, whatever is there, and plan out their time. So the papers have something like 5 markers, 3 markers, 2 marker, 1 marker, multiple choice MCQs. So this is what I tell my daughter, that go and attempt the 5 markers and the 3 markers first, so that you don't have time, because 1 markers MCQs will also take a lot of time, and then your time for doing the 5 mark question might not be there. So instead of you will miss out on that. So do the 5 markers first and then come back to the 1 marker or something, or however is your the paper is structured. You can plan your time accordingly. Talk to your child that this is how the paper is structured, and this is how you should attempt the paper. So this is how you should be writing the exam. So this is the whole thing of attempting what not to do for the exams. So I'll share you a very small, a few tips, that in case the children do feel a lot of anxiety and stress, how you can help the children with that. Number 1 would be, to obviously start revision in an organized manner. What I told you in the 10 points earlier, start revision in an organized manner, so that, and it is, with the parents, you can go, and if the child is feeling very under a lot of stress and anxiety, you can tell the child, see, you have done this, you have done this. So now only, 50% of the syllabus is done. Now only 50% is left. Why are you getting worried? Let's do it together. I will sit with you. I will help you in whatever way I can help you. So talk to the children like that. Thank you so much, Isha. Thank you. So right, so yes, you can do that way. That is another way. Second is spend time. You do not compare yourself with your friends. So children do compare themselves, that my friend, she's done 15 chapters, I have done only 10 chapters, I'm not going to get good marks, I will not get time to study. So do not have that comparison. So the parents know, in this case parents are not comparing, but the children themselves are comparing. So ask the children also to stop the comparison with other children, that what all you have studied, right? The third is spend time away from someone, from that exam atmosphere. So at home also you can have some other talk, rather than how much syllabus you've done, how much is left, what are the papers coming, what are the questions coming. Instead of that, you can talk something else which will help them, think about something and help them enlighten up a little bit, so that their stress and anxiety will come down. The other is exercise helps a lot at this time for stress management, because exercise, as I always tell you, when you exercise, there are certain chemicals like endorphins which are released in the body, and these endorphins lift up your mood, and for whatever stress and anxiety you have, you will feel much better in that. I'm sorry. Whatever stress, anxiety is there, you're going to feel much better with that. So exercise is a very good idea to reduce the stress and anxiety that you're having at this time. And last would be meditate or have some kind of a chanting to reduce stress. And for meditation for children, I do not say that you should sit and meditate if you are not used to. So for children, meditation can be something probably like listening to music, or playing music. If you play music, just whatever guitar or keyboard, whatever you are playing, just play music, just listen to music, or probably immerse yourself in some kind of art which you like. So for children, those things are also meditative. So do something which you really love and which will take your mind off from the whole thing of the exams and the exam stress. So these are the things which I wanted to share. Let me check my notes. Yes, I shared 10 steps on what to do, 4 on what not to do, then how to handle stress. And now, as promised, I will tell you about one technique which you can use to memorize better. So enhancing your memory is a very big subject. It is beyond the scope of this life. But if anybody would like to know more about it, on Udemy, I have a course on for memory techniques, enhancing your memory. And because of the exam season, it is free right now. There are no charges for the course. So if anybody would be interested to know more about how to increase your memory, how to memorize better, you can search me on Udemy by Dr. Mona Gujral, and you can find that course on enhancing your memory. So probably you might want to look at that course. So, but here today in the live, I will share one technique which we can use to memorize a little better. So, and I'll give you an example. So how we do it. So memory is basically, if we image association, if we associate something which with an image or something that we know better, if we associate things with that, then our brain is able to memorize those things in a better way. So I'll give you one example. Before that, I'll just have a sip of water. 1 minute. Right. So memory, how to memorize something better. And the example I would like to give you is of chemistry, the first 10 elements of the periodic table. And the first 10 elements are hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon. So these are the first 10 elements of the memory periodic table. So how do we memorize that, right? So the children are doing it. So we will associate it with some images, associate it with some story. And the main criteria is the more weird or the more funnier that that image is or the association is, the more our brain will memorize it, the more our brain will retain it. So for example, hydrogen, we'll start with the H. So hi, my friend came and she said hi to me. So H, hi, H is for hydrogen, the first element, right? And when I turned around, she got a beautiful pink balloon for me, which was filled with helium, and it was flying high. So that is the second, helium. Second element is helium. Then, the moment I saw my friend, my face just lit up. So lit up, Li, lit up. So Li is lithium, which is the third element of the periodic table, right? So my friend told me I want to have a berry ice cream. So berry, B-E, berry. The fourth element is beryllium. So that is beryllium, beryllium. So we can remember that way. So she wanted to have a berry ice cream because she was feeling very bored. Bored, B-O-R-E-D, bored, and the fifth element is boron, B-O-R-O-N. So we can associate that with bored with boron. So she wanted to have because she was getting bored, she wanted to have berry ice cream because she was getting bored. So I took out my car, my shiny yellow colored car. I took out my car and we drove. So car, C-A-R, car, and C is carbon, which is the sixth element of the atomic table. Right, so this is how the story is progressing. So we drove to a neat orange cafe. Okay, so nitrogen, the seventh element is nitrogen, which is the Ni, nitrogen, and nitrogen. So we went to the neat orange. That can be a reminder that we went to that is the nitrogen, and we went there. And because the cafe was very neat and clean and it was very tidy, we took off our mask to breathe fresh oxygen. So oxygen is the eighth element of the periodic table. So then the moment I took out my mask, it fell on the floor. Fluor is for fluorine, which is the ninth element of the periodic table. And because my mask fell down, I'm never put it on again. I'll never put it on. So never put it on. N is Ne, never. Ne is neon, which is the 10th element of the periodic table. So this is the something story which I could think of, and this is one story. So in this we've covered the 10 elements of the atomic table. So for children, with the help of parents and children, they can come up with their own story for whatever they are trying to learn, and they can have a lot of more colors to it. I said a bright yellow car or a pink balloon. So you can add colors, because the moment you add colors, your brain will be able to connect to it much better. Then you can have some kind of some weird thing. I said a neat orange cafe, or I said she wanted to have a berry ice cream, something like that. Or you can name your friend also. I did not say the name of my friend, but you can say the name of your friend, so that when you say the name of your friend, you'll visualize everything, that you're going out to have an ice cream and a berry ice cream because she's bored, you're going in a car. So whenever make a story and relate, associate the things with it which you're trying to learn. So once you do that, write it down. So the next time when you're revising, you just have to look at it once and you remember everything. You'll remember the whole story. You'll remember all the elements, how I just mentioned it. So this is an easier way to memorize things. In case you would like to go more deeper into it, you can always head on to my course on Udemy, and you can have a deeper knowledge about how to memorize things and all. And this is what I wanted to talk to you about memory, how to form associations and how to make the associations more weirder. So the more weird it is, the more your brain, the more funny it is. You can add humor, you can add fun to it. So the more fun you add to it, the more your brain will associate with it, because we all love to have funny, think about funny things. So this will help you better. And now as we come to the end of the live, so I wanted to tell you about 3 things which damage your brain, or not damage your brain, sorry, which reduce the memorizing power of your brain. So 3 things. The first one is sleep, lack of sleep. So if you do not sleep much, your brain will not have that kind of retention power, the memory retaining power. Whatever you've learned new will not retain in your brain, but will slip away very easily. So the retention power of our brain is increased when we are sleeping. So sleep is one thing, which lack of sleep reduces your memory power. The second one is sugar, high sugar content. If you're having a lot of sugar, having a lot of ice creams and chocolates and brownies and donuts before your exams, be careful. Your memory, the retention power of your brain is going to go down. So that affects big time. And the third thing is your gadgets, your mobile phone basically. So all the brain scientists, they have a saying that the greater the memory of your mobile phone, the lower is your own memory. So, in olden times, we used to remember so many phone numbers, probably around 10, 12 phone numbers we used to remember before our mobile came in, in existence. Used to remember so many numbers. But now probably hardly 1 or 2 numbers we are able to remember. Why? Because we've just outsourced our memory to the phone. So this is what they say, the more things you outsource for thinking to your brain, memory storage to your brain, the lower is your own memory power which is happening. So this is try to remember things, and remembering and then repeating it, revising it at particular intervals of time will help you in retaining it for a longer period of time, and not even retaining it, producing it whenever you need it. Your brain will produce the thing that you need it for example, in your exam when you have to write something, it will come out automatically so that you can write. So these were the few points that I wanted to share about, with everyone, with the parents and the children, on how to prepare better for your exams. So I'm sure a few of the techniques which I shared, the Pomodoro technique or the spaced out technique or the 80-20 ratio, that will definitely help you in making most use of your time before the exams, and you can have your studies better. And I have made another video, I think probably a couple of years back I made a video on exam preparation. I've put the link in my bio. If you would be interested to know more about it, you can see that. And last year I did take a course on memory, increasing your memory power and how to memorize things better. So this year, because of some other commitments, I could not do that again. But in case somebody would be, would like to get in touch with me for that, you're most welcome. You can DM me, or you have my number, you can message me, or whatever way. So this is from my side, and wishing all the students all the very best. Good luck for your exams, and you are going to rock it. You are going to make it. You are all going to get very good marks. Program yourself for victory, and you will do it. So all the children, good luck, and see you with great numbers. Anybody would like to ask any question regarding this, they can write a question. I can answer any question right now. If there are any questions about any of the technique which is not clear, which I can probably come back to. Any question if you have, I will be taking the questions. Or if no, then probably I like to end the live. So all those who are watching recap of this live, you can probably, you're not watching it live, you're watching it later. If you have any question, please put it down, and yes, I will definitely answer those questions. So thank you so much, and take care everyone. Happy parenting to all the parents, and all the best to all the students for the exams. Please take care. Bye-bye.